What the Republic's articles try to establish is, I agree, nobody is lost. Nobody is maybe lost from government. That's so you had no revenue loss. But then it is painted a picture where it's thought that government, the two ministries, the bank, and even central bank, all colluded allegedly to provide an opportunity to an individual or company to reap benefits with zero risk.
But
Minister, what do you say to that?
how can you have benefit at zero risk? For me, the first risk for that company was to assume a liability that they did not partake in. That's the biggest risk. They started with a liability of 15 million, which was a default from win-win. So when they say zero risk, what about the 15 million that they took over?
Probably they knew that they would definitely continue to enjoy the privileges.
No, but the point is, it's not true
that
how could they say there is no risk?
Yes.
If it was a zero-sum game, one can understand. But you start from minus 15 million. And you said, look, this transaction we know did not go through. It failed. As such, cost incurred with that. It's just like you are taking over a failed company. You know you're taking over liabilities. So how can you say that there's zero risk? The biggest risk is already quantified before us. The 15 million that the company took over without transacting anything. Because as a businessman, when I'm going to transact, I have to make sure that for every risk I take, I'm compensated.
Exactly.
But here you are taking an upfront risk of 15 million without any, you don't even know whether it will work or not.
Yeah, but if I'm assured that I will continue to enjoy government backing or government support, I'm confident that, well, I'm going to take over everything because I'm sure that I'm going to continue enjoying government support.
One thing I know, when this transaction was conceived, Amadou Sane, the nephew of the president, was never on the table.
Never in the picture.
Never.
So both ministries didn't know anything about it.
No, he was not there.
No, he was not there.
It was win-win.
Win-win.
But when JB came,
JB came to take over a liability.
One would have thought that the two ministries would have also checked, because they're going to take the liability of win-win, but as well as the guarantees that provided by
you see what happened for us as a ministry. This was like there's already a residual risk of 15 million.
Okay.
If this JV did not come to assume that liability,
you would have lost.
Ultimately we have to come in and close the liability to the bank.
I see. So
government would have had to pay that 15 million.
So JV actually in reality also saved
the whole situation.
Okay.
That's how it happened.
I see.
If he happens to have been a nephew of the president, that's something. No, I mean, I will not even go into how that came about, but all I can say, this saved the government, because having issued an underwriting, if you don't have anybody to take over the facility, where does the bank turn to? Is it not you, the government?
Yes, of course.
But now, you see.
But is it not okay?
That's what we are trying to explain.
That's good.
That look, JV, be the proprietor related to the president, that is a politically exposed person. The bank should have conducted an enhanced risk management, enhanced risk oversight or due diligence. But for us as a Ministry of Finance, this has literally saved us an obligation to settle a 15.3 million balance.
I see.
Which if it could have been X or Y, if no party came, the bank had every right to come after us.
Absolutely.
To say, you as the government, Ministry of Finance, you underwrote this transaction, it did not take off, so now make good your guarantee.
Exactly. Okay.
I hope I'm clear. So we're not here to hold brief for anybody. But all we are trying to see, to clarify how the transaction was consummated, what informed the rationale, and how the parties came about. When it started, Amadou Sane or JV was never on the table. We had no knowledge of, in fact, we never envisaged them to come to the table. Because if win-win transaction went ahead,
there would have
been no JV. There would have been no Amadou Sane. And in fact, to us, whilst we have not crystallized the guarantee by paying the 15 million, it's something we would have wished should have gone through. Because when the Ministry of Trade did this, as DPS Jammeh said, this was a pilot.
Yes.
to empower Gambian businesses to go into commodity trading. And if this had succeeded, you see the agreement even emphasized, we contacted both Win-Win and the bank to say, what's your turnaround cycle? If you bring in a vessel, how long will it take for you to sell over? They say within 4 months we can do a turnaround.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that means every 4 months they would have brought they would have brought in a vessel that will have addressed rice shortage. So that's why we have, based on the cost, stipulated that because we are part of this agreement, a bag of rice then should not exceed 1,000 in any part of the country. You know, so we did a lot of work on this. So that's why we could not hold back, but to come and also give our side of our understanding of the transaction as it was consummated.
Like I said, you know, the article never suggested that the government lost anything. So that's why I want you to concentrate on this perception that the article raised, that the whole venture was designed to help enrich a company, stroke an individual who is supposed to be related to the president, that all of you look the other way and facilitated it to happen. That's what the article is suggesting.
That would have been a true premise if there was no risk at the beginning. If this was a ground zero transaction, we call JV or Amadou Sane, nephew of the president, and say, come, let's do this so that you benefit from it. But no, there was a loss of 15 million that was unrecoverable. And they came to take that over. And literally, they have saved government 15.50 that liability, because as an obligation, we thought, okay, this should go right. And as such, we are confident it will address our rice shortage, it will create employment, it will empower Gambians in the commodity business. And we even assess, as a ministry at the time, the profitability. That's why we said, okay, for all this, this is the cost, this is the profit, this is the revenue, this is the cost, this is the profit. And we said, okay, we are not interested in making money, but we want 30% of the net profit of this venture that the Ministry of Trade would have used to develop the SME sector. It's all in the MOU.
Absolutely.
So, and in fact, the MOU is here, it's a public document.
Definitely.
The Ministry of Trade or even me will be happy to share
the objective,
This is how it was conceived. But to make it look like the whole government machinery was marshaled at the request or at the imposition to go and serve JV or Ahmad. Ahmad was not even in the picture.
As far as your knowledge, you didn't know anything about
at the beginning. No way.
No.
Okay.
You see, that is very clear. And to make it look like he was given a silver platter, it's not correct. Because there was a loss of 15 million. Which the bank says was a net obligation due to the failed importation of Win-Win. I hope we are clear on that.
Very clear.
So we cannot make it more clearer than this.
Absolutely. You are not on the central bank, of course.
No, that's right.
But you had allegations that central bank
you see,
authorized the bank to give this, whatever they call it, loan or overdraft, more than it's supposed to. This exceeds what should have been allowed for Mega Bank to dish out, because more than 25% of what they deposit of the central bank is being asked for in this facility.
I won't hold back for the central bank.
Is it again coincidental that central bank too didn't do any due diligence and had to allegedly, ignore a rule to give this? To ask this bank to release this facility? Again, another. Is it the bank's fault here, or is it?
No, I won't hold brief for the central bank, like we do. When we had this, we said, well, but I'm coming. Like we do. When we had this story, we believe that we should also come and explain the rationale and how it consummated.
But in your experience, are they right to say that central bank shouldn't have done that?
No. In fact, central bank, there is what they call single obligor limit on a transaction. No bank is allowed to do a transaction which will be above a certain magnitude.
25% of all deposit.
But the central bank has the authority. There is nothing illegal about it. In the national interest, to waive this if it believes that that will have a better or bigger impact on the overall economy. But these are left to the central bank for them to speak for themselves.
This is
I'm not holding
that is
brief for them. I can only speak for my domain. And
that's the trouble. That is what enhance the perception that suggests that this is designed for one person. Here, the Ministry of Trade didn't know, claim they don't know anything about Amadou Sane in the JBC. You said the bank.
No, not JVC.
JC.
In
Win-win, and then later JV. And later JV.
JV they do.
JV
they do.
No, I'm talking about, they said Amadou Sane at the time of
let me give you it.
Yeah.
What the Ministry of Trade did not know about Amadou Sane was at the win-win stage of the transaction.
But after it,
but JV, how could they? Amadou was partner in JV.
So you didn't do due diligence.
No, what I said was the transfer of the facility from win-win to JV was initiated at the level of the bank.
Yes,
nice, that's what.
And when they agreed and got board approval, that's the time they notified. So now we are to accept or not to accept.
Not to accept. You have no choice.
We said, we already have a liability that has to be addressed.
Yes.
So you think of it. Do we have
like
to act? Exactly. So we felt that it's better to save the situation.